A 5-0 win in the end for Aston Villa. Youri Tielemans with the fourth goal of the night to put Aston Villa 4-0 up. That's actually his first Premier League goal of the season. So let's hear his thoughts post-match.
Youri, what a Saturday night and what a first Premier League goal for you, for Aston Villa.
Yeah, very pleased with that. Obviously the win is the most important, but getting your first goal is always important as well. And we can kickstart our second part of the season now.
You mentioned that word kickstart. Do you feel you're glad that January's over?
Yeah, probably. I mean, that break has done us a good thing. We could refresh mentally, physically, but now it's getting back into it. And after the loss against Newcastle at home, we really wanted to give a good reaction, and that's what we did.
Yeah, you kind of sense the frustration from that defeat in midweek. You put it all out there on the pitch. Yes,
we tried to put it to bed fairly quickly, to be honest, and try to analyse, try to train on the things that didn't go well, and then get back and try and win today.
The one thing on that performance, having gone so far ahead, it was like you kicked into cruise control before the end of the first half, but picked up right where you left off at the start of the second.
Yes, it was very important for us to get back going after the first half, and then not to get complacent and try to put in more goals and to get a good performance in, which we did.
Is that one of the things that Unai Emery says? Because his attention to detail and his demand, we could see that right on the pitch.
Yes, definitely. It was a case for us to keep going, and that's what he said at half-time. That was his message, to keep going, to keep playing, to keep improving as a team, and then try to win the game and score more goals.
There doesn't seem to be a weak link in this squad of players that you have. What can be achieved this season?
Oh, listen, we just have to take it game by game. It sounds cliche, but that's where we are at the moment, and we've lost on Tuesday night, and now we win, so we want to keep it going.
And you got the cup in midweek as well, a replay in that?
Yes, we do. It's a busy schedule, but that's what we want as footballers, and hopefully we can get a good result on Wednesday.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant goal. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, big games coming up for them against Chelsea in the FA Cup and then Manchester United in the Premier League. But yeah, they've put January behind them quite clearly. What impressed you most about Aston Villa's performance today, Owen?
I mean, that's how they always play. They were just really clinical. Tielemans has been an amazing addition to that squad. Just think he gives them something different. They have such a dominant midfield. Douglas Luiz was back to his absolute best. Watkins, when he works into space, he's almost unplayable. So I think there's so much to like. You know, Shea obviously was mentioned, the goalkeeper, Martinez, the back four is terrific. The midfield's one of the most underrated in the league. So I think I love everything about that Aston Villa team.
How relieved would Emi Martinez have been that last goal was ruled offside? Because we were talking about it. Yeah. Just conceding that one at the end would have sort of taken the gloss of it.
You know, he's a fantastic goalkeeper, made a brilliant double save in the second half, so a clean sheet would mean everything to him. Yeah. You know, he's a World Cup winner, he's been voted the best goalkeeper in the world, and this is a fantastic set play actually from Sheffield United. Hamer puts a lot of disguise on, that's a brilliant sort of headed pass into the middle, but you know, you're hoping then as a goalkeeper, VAR will maybe bail you out. It's very, very tight decision, seeming really, really close, and it's well worked. It's a shame for Sheffield United because, you know, teams will analyse that and go, make sure we don't switch off next week for this because it's a brilliant set play. But I think the VAR gets it right. I think his head's just in front of the play, and it's the right decision.
And the look on Chris Wilder's face says it all. But let's turn our attention to all the goals now and take it right back to the beginning. In the 12th minute, it was McGinn that got on the score sheet. He was quite quick to react here, Owen.
Yeah, but it's just, excuse me, Kamara and Luis are terrific. In Watkins, again, we talk about that space. He's such a great athlete. And when he runs into those channels, he's almost unplayable. But Douglas Luiz just sits in that little pocket of space. You always say to young players, you know, check your shoulder and receive the ball on your back foot. That means sets it, and it's perfect into Watkins' space. But again, they still has a lot of work to do there, you know, and he gambles and he just guesses. Shane mentioned about Mason Holgate, just switches off, but McGinn is there, and it was just a brilliant start for Aston Villa. When they get ahead like that, they're almost unplayable.
Exactly the start that Unai Emery would have wanted to see from them after that 3-2 defeat to Newcastle earlier in the week. But then came Ollie Watkins. Now, he has been in such fine form. He scored now his 11th goal for this second goal. And you're a big fan of his, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, my worry would be if Ollie Watkins get injured, because he gives him that real sort of focal point up front. But again, the ball from Douglas Luiz is just phenomenal. It really is. If we see this again, honestly, you pay money as any kid or any midfielder. I mean, Owen was a better midfielder than I was for sure, but
I hope so.
I've not seen Owen play a pass like this before. It is just, honestly, remarkable. The weight of pass. We even said at half time, I think there might have been a bit of spin back on it. Just look at that. That pass is just phenomenal. And the finish again, Ollie Watkins, cool as you like in front of the goal, great finish. He's giving me daggers. He's giving me daggers.
I've seen a pass like that from you before.
I can feel him giving me a
I
stare on
definitely
the
was a
left
better
side
keeper
here.
than him, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been in great form. We then saw Leon Bailey with the third goal, and at this point they were just flying, weren't they, Owen?
Yeah, I mean, they were so comfortable. And the thing is as well, every time they attacked, they looked like they were going to score. The surprising thing you'd say for Sheffield United is, I'm not sure how, being behind, they allowed so much space. And Bailey's got such a wonderful left foot. He was in brilliant form as of late. But when they're able to work into these spaces, I mean, initially you look at Tielemans, wins that header. He's not often the type of player you think he's going to go win a physical battle, but I think Bailey, obviously, with that wonderful left foot, the defender's got to show him down the line. He cannot come inside. You just got to force him on his right foot. And they're just the little things that add up in the game, but the finish is top drawer.
Ollie Watkins with the assist.
Sorry, we've seen that so many times, you know what I mean? As a fullback, you have to get him outside. We've seen him do it on numerous occasions. He loves getting on that left
Would you
foot.
say to your defenders, don't allow him on his left?
Yeah, have to get him outside. Because what happens when he comes inside like that, he's opening up the full goal, so he can bend it like he did, or he can go near post. If the fullback gets him out wide, it gives me a better angle down the angle to save the shot, So again, it's a poor goal to give away.
Then came goal number 4, and this was Yuri Tielemans. We actually just saw it, but we'll have a look at it again. It was a really good goal, and his first Premier League goal as well.
Yeah, but look, he just sits at the top of the edge of the box, so he's just waiting for the second ball, and it comes straight to him. You'd be amazed how many times the ball comes to the player if you just wait there. He waits in that little deep. He's got a ton of space. Again, it's poor from Sheffield United. You have to have somebody there. First touch, and absolutely smashes it into the top of the net. But it's far too easy. But you would say Aston Villa were incredibly clinical today. They scored terrific goals.
So Tielemans, very pleased with his first Premier League goal of the season. And at 4-0, we got to half-time, and then after half-time, they made it 5.
Well, the team talk, we talk about Chris Wilder at half-time. Keep it tight as the start of the second half. Like 4-0, worst case, don't get your heads down and make it worse. This is 2 minutes into the second half, Seema, and again, Marina, how free is he in the middle of your box? Like, there's no one at any stage. You can see him at the bottom of your picture here. There's no Sheffield United player at any stage in this has actually looked at him, tried to point someone to pick him up, even the goalkeeper, a centre half or a full-back. He's got all the time in the world to do what he wants. And again, I suppose the only thing you can give Sheffield United 2 minutes into the second half, it stayed at 5 because, if you're the goalkeeper or the defenders thinking this could actually be any scoreline today.
It could have been, couldn't it? And they will walk away very pleased with their performance today. And actually, Ollie Watkins has now put on another great performance. He's topped the assist chart. He's gone above Kieran Trippier after the 2 assists. And there he is. He's on 10 assists for the season. It's really interesting how Unai Emery has just brought out so much from his players, but he really has brought out a lot from Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, but if you think back when Steven Gerrard was there, they played with Danny Ings as well, and they almost kind of played the two. And obviously, I think Unai Emery sold Danny Ings because he wanted to make Ollie Watkins a focal point. And to be fair, to think that he's top in assists. All the other players on there are creators, aren't they? Pascal Gross, he's a creator, he's a passer. Trippier as well. So to be top as a striker with the goals that he has is exceptional.
Yeah, he's been great to watch, and he's going from strength to strength. Only 28 years old as well. Sheffield United have conceded 5 goals for the first time since Wilder has been back in charge. It was indeed a really horrible night for all of those players, including their loanee signing, Mason Holgate. But let's get the thoughts of the manager, Chris Wilder, speaking post-match.
Chris, where do you start with that? How do you start to analyse it?
No, punish ruthlessly. 4-0 down after half an hour it's a long way back, and it's a long afternoon, evening. We'll obviously look at our goals. There's some really basic individual errors that we've made there, and organisation errors as well. So I'll take the rap for that. It's a young side out there. We picked an athletic young side out there that got put to bed pretty early. Some clinical finishes. Watkins' movement causes a problem. Goals from Bailey and Tielemans are fabulous finishes as well. And the goal just after half time as well is a difficult one to take. So, being in that position as a pro, as a player, and as a manager, and there's no hiding place. You've got to suffer. You've got to go through it. You've got to take your medicine, and we have to, and we have to accept that, and we have to apologise to all our supporters because they've been superb, and I know more than anything what the club means to them, and we've let them down this afternoon, evening, and I'm at the front of that.
No matter where you are in the league, you're at home, you've got to start positive. Was that almost your undoing early on? Was it too positive, too open?
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, we've had a couple of really, really good chances to take the lead, and then we've gone chasing. We've got excited. We've gone chasing. We've left big holes in the middle of the park, and they picked us off with the quality that they've got. And they do that. They've done it all season, and you allow good players big holes, and people go diving in and losing the shape and losing the structure. Then they're going to find those pockets, and then they're going to produce that final pass, and they're going to produce that final finish, and then it can become messy, which obviously it did. And as I said, there's always a lot of noise about when teams get done sort of 3, 4 and 5. They don't care. They don't. It's such a difficult environment to be in, and not created by our supporters, because they stuck with us to the end, and everything that comes our way we have to take on the chin.
They do indeed, and they have a huge challenge ahead of them from now until the end of the season. And when you look at those stats, after 23 Premier League matches, they have conceded 59 goals. That is a record that's never happened in Premier League or top division history. That is a concern, and a huge concern, Shay.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what he'll do over the next couple of days. The next game obviously is Luton away next weekend, which is a huge game, of course, in itself. But does he bring his team in on Monday and analyse what's happened? He said about a young team tonight, individual mistakes. Does he highlight that more Monday morning, or does he come in Monday morning and go, right, lads, that was a hammering?
What would you want to hear as a player?
I don't know. Sometimes you have to just analyse and go, let this happen again. We mentioned when we showed the goals, they were way too open. Individually, then individual mistakes. But at the same time, when confidence is so fragile at the bottom of the league, sometimes the manager will probably even question himself tomorrow, saying, should I show them this? Should I analyse this? Or should I just go, let's put that to bed, lads. All focus, our minds is on Luton next weekend. And
Luton is a huge game for them. It's a 6-pointer.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of issues. They conceded the most goals to the lowest scorers. Away form's dreadful. I think they only have 2 points. So I think they need to tweak it a little bit different, because today that looked a mile off. Whether they change the shape or something different formation, but I think for teams struggling as big as they are, there were far too bigger gaps. They need to be closer together, I think, to give themselves a chance.
Yeah, 10 points from safety, a real mountain to climb. Well, on that note, it's time for us to say goodbye. Thank you, Shay. Thank you, Owen. A pleasure as always. Thank you for your company as well, and congratulations to Aston Villa, who fired 5 past Sheffield United and are back in the top 4. See you soon. Good night.